I'll never get used to the hard moments, like when children are buried no matter how many years pass. The hardest thing is when little children are being buried. We even have guys who just who can't dig children's graves. Literally only a couple of people go there. My name is Vyacheslav. I work as a cemetery caretaker. So what is a caretaker? I supervise the work related to burials. Again, I keep records of burials. I oversee burials, the plots, the reservation of plots, and the documentation to make sure everything is dug on time. Everything gets done on time here. This work can't be postponed.
Hello, I'm Vyacheslav and I'm filming the project No Small Person. This is a story about ordinary people who are often overlooked. If you like this kind of content, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss the next episode. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, there was business in the 90s. What kind of work was there in the 90s? Yeah, if there was a job, the salary was $20, so everyone survived as best they could. It got a bit worse, kind of shut down. Well, I had to get a job. You can't be without work. You can't be without a job. I didn't plan to stay here, but as you can see, that's how it turned out. In just a week, I'll have 19 years on the job. Well, at first it wasn't scary, it was just kind of creepy. So many dead people around. We call it the Dead City, the Dead City. There are so many lying here. This is the city cemetery of our city, Baranovichi. The area, if I'm not mistaken, is 55 hectares and it has been expanded twice. About 50,000 have already been buried here. As for the number of plots, I can't tell you exactly, but I think it will be enough for about 2 more years. More.
How much does a plot at the cemetery cost?
A plot at the cemetery, well, how should I put it? Single plots are free here. But for double plots, for the extra 40 centimeters, we charge 76 rubles.
Can I, for example, buy one for myself right now?
You can't buy it in advance. Only when someone dies, or if there is a spot next to an existing plot on the left or right, if there is space, you can buy it. It's possible, but not ahead of time. If it was, the cemetery would have closed long ago. That's all.
Do you bury in existing graves?
Yes, we do. For 20 years, it's possible to bury on top if the relative who buried agrees. This is definitely abandoned. But some people come and want to buy it. I take a rod, come and show people. You see, there's a grave here. You can't do it on someone else's grave. Even though it's abandoned, you can't do it. You know, both my partner and I have been offered money more than once. They've offered all sorts of things. Just to pay, just for that. No one ever goes for that. No money, nothing. You can't bury people in other people's graves. Well, you see, that's just plain rude. See how deep it is? He doesn't even level it anymore. And in the morning when they make the lists, they assign the numbers for which areas to clean. Then the crew comes in and starts cleaning. No less than 1.5 meters. Here in the new sections, it's possible because the tractor can get in. The tractor digs. In the morning, every morning as needed, they clean it. That's only done by hand. The tractor can't get in there. Among the graves, they only dig by hand. Well, in winter, of course, it's harder. It's not like in summer. We have generators and jackhammers. 3 people dig a grave. By noon, they finish. It takes about 3 hours. That was just one case. They told me about it before I started. There used to be 2 people on duty at a time. They walked around the cemetery when it was still small, and he made his rounds in a circle. Another one, while making his rounds, saw a coffin. There was dug up earth and a coffin standing there. He got scared and ran to call the police, thinking they'd dug up the deceased. It turned out it was just the workers. The ground was frozen solid, and they couldn't dig deep enough in one day, so they left the deceased at the cemetery to come back and finish digging in the morning. Cemeteries should always be silent. Why disturb them and bother them? It's a place where there should be peace. Do cemetery workers have a sense of humor? For them, it's just a job. In their locker room, they joke and laugh, like everyone else. Naturally, we laughed for a while. I was walking along the old path between the cemetery sections. I immediately saw a grave right by the road, and there was a TV standing there. I don't know what kind of jokers brought that TV, how it ended up in the cemetery, but they put it between the flower beds at the foot of the grave, right by the fence. And it turns out there's a monument standing there. There was a black monument with two portraits, a husband and wife. And they were leaning toward each other. It's interesting how they were inclined toward each other. And it looks like they're watching that TV. The funerals that are memorable, you remember them when they stand out, when you just started working, when you first got the job back in the beginning. When the district officer forces the grandson or son, they catch him. When he gets the dishes and drinks them away. And somewhere he's drinking, getting drunk. Meanwhile, the deceased is lying either at home or in the morgue. Later, the grandson or son finally brings the deceased to be buried. And just imagine when a week or more has passed in the summer, you can imagine the condition of the body then. Our workers here, honestly, chased one of those guys so hard that he ran away, that grandson. The local police officer caught him, brought him there, and made him bury his grandmother. Crows can still sense it, especially in the summer heat, even when we bury them deep. But where? Like that, for a week. The way that grandson buried his grandmother, right? The next day you come and the crows are tearing up that mound. How do they sense it there or what? Are there people who visit graves often? Yes, there are. Some go as if it's their job. Mostly it's grandmothers. Maybe it's loneliness. Maybe they were loved very much. A grandmother visited her grandchildren for years until she died alone. Now I see another one. She comes every day. The guards here, since they're on duty in the morning, they see when the first bus arrives and the grandmother is walking. One used to visit her grandchildren. She had two grandsons buried there. She visited for years. Every day. Can you get paid to clean and look after graves? Yes, we have such a service. It's a one-time service, grave cleaning once a month. Cleaning, weeding. Wipe and clean the headstone. How much does it cost? So, a single grave is 16 rubles, a double is 22, and a triple is 32. But that's a one-time cleaning. Yes, these are lawn plots. Yes, we have them. We've had them since 2005. The tiles are just on the ground. And now, are there more of these lawn burials, like on the grass? No, we still have more regular ones for now. The first lawn burial, that's when they started burying like this. The first lawn burial was done. The guard came for the night, but no one warned him. It just looked like a path. In the morning, the guard went outside and noticed this burial. I arrive for my shift in the morning. He comes up and asks, "What is this grave?" "Listen, what is this?" I say, "What do you mean? They did a lawn burial yesterday." And in the morning I go out, he says, "I thought that's it. Someone was buried at night. Illegally. He wanted to remove the cross, take away the mound. He wanted to take everything out." He says, "And do you also take care of the lawn? I mean, is that part of your responsibilities?" "The lawn, yes, initially. Right when you pay, right when the burial happens. You pay for 5 years in advance. 205. After 5 years, people have to renew it again. Does theft happen at the cemetery?" Thank God, not anymore. A long time ago, there used to be a lot of flower thefts. Literally 2 or 3 days, they would wait until the wreaths were placed at the burial. And they would steal. They took the best flowers, they stole. We would keep watch at night, and in the mornings, well, we caught them, we called the police. There was a time too, many years ago, when I caught someone who looked like a homeless person. He would go around the graves, drink vodka, someone would pour him a shot, he would drink and have a snack there. Well, I just talked to him, I simply shamed him, told him that you can't act so inhumanely. And I haven't seen him since. I do substitute for the watchman, yes, because he needs to have lunch, he needs to go to the bathroom. And I substitute for him, I stand at the gate. Do you have to pay to drive in? A ruble. To the cemetery? Yes, the entrance fee for a visit is 1 ruble. If participants are coming for installations, we fill out a log, record it, and it's 14 rubles for us. If a person doesn't remember where the grave is, they come to us. No, we have 2 electronic databases. 2, here is our first database. Date of birth, date of death, plot number. What do you like? The schedule. If it were every day, I wouldn't work. I couldn't do it. It's hard, very stressful, difficult, and that's why you work for 2 days, and then for 2 days you kind of recover. Being a cemetery caretaker is also a job. It's a regular job like any other, and it's necessary. Is there life after death? I think there is. I think so. They can see us. That's why we have to live somehow without breaking the rules. I worked here, I just greeted people, that's all I did. There were cases when people were buried, they had huge amounts of money, they were involved in something. But when they got sick, they got treatment in Israel and Germany and spent so much money, but none of it helped. After that, no one needs the money. It makes you think it's important to live the right way, not to break anything. You have to be spiritual, to be spiritually rich.